Hey, it's Rick here, and in this video, I want to review ProfitSite by Mike McKay and his gang, and I'll give you my honest opinion on whether this is any good. I'll show you around the members area, and we'll take a look at the dashboard, and I'll show you whether or not this tool is going to bring you value, and keep watching, because I'll show you how this one could actually get you into trouble using it. As well, I'll show you what it costs, the OTOs or the upgrades, and then I'll give you the pros and the cons, and you can see for yourself if ProfitSite will make you profit. This review is just my own opinion. I've bought so many products like this one over the years, and I haven't been happy with a lot of them. So now I like to help people like you, give you the information you need before you buy software, so you don't waste your money. My name is Rick Hoople with Your Automatic Life, and if you haven't been to this channel before, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And if you are looking to build a sustainable, long-term online business, check out that link in the description below, and there you'll find a step-by-step process that will get you on your way. Alright, let's take a good look at ProfitSite. So here we are on the sales page. So they claim that you can create and sell unlimited drag and drop sites with this cloud hosting at this low one-time price. And they keep saying how rock solid this cloud hosting is. And then you can use 100% done for you templates to sell anything to anyone. They claim how easy it is, how there's nothing to download, install, or customize. Get started in seconds. And even these faster loading websites than ever before with 100% uptime. And then they talk about these multiple traffic streams and hundreds of ready-to-sell products built in. And then you go down the sales page a little bit more. I won't focus on it too much, but they've got the 3 easy steps, just like usual with this type of software. They always say that, 3 easy steps, and you'll be making money like you wouldn't believe. And 2, they've got some profit claims. Look at these numbers, and of course these could be so easily made up. And keep watching, because later in this video I'll show you how these obviously are made up, and I'll show you why I know that. Basically, what this ProfitSite software is it's a landing page creator where you can promote affiliate offers and sell products, kind of like an e-commerce store. But this will not be a sustainable long-term business for you. The traffic claims are very misleading, and keep watching because I'll tell you the reasons why that this isn't going to work for you and why I don't recommend it. But to get real training and a real method of getting traffic to your offers, check out my review of the Simple Traffic Blueprint. That training will give you a real online business. And it's on the screen, and I'll have a link to that in the description. Check it out if you really want to get real traffic to your offers. But anyways, let's go into the dashboard, and we'll go through that. So here we are. So it's a little different than some. Some you've got some useless stats on the front page, things like that do nothing. But this one, they've just got these 3 or 4 buttons, and really actually only the shops works. The rest shows your customers, products, revenue. They're not clickable. Only the shops is. And then up here is to the dashboard, and there's really not too much in here either. And we'll go through these one at a time. So on this one here in the dashboard is my shops. That's the same as this one right here. So we can click on either button. So let's go in there. And then once we're in here, now on the front end, you're only allowed to have 10 shops. So if you have 10, you can't add a new one. And now this new one, this is one that I made. Now let's just take a look at it. We'll view it. And here it is. So in the end, not horrendous looking. It's not so bad. It is kind of like a website and Shopify built together, and that's what they claim this is, sort of a Shopify and Wix combo, which it sort of is. Now let's go back to the dashboard, and we'll go to Manage, and here is where the settings are. So you have your site settings, so they have 3 templates, then that's basically how the site would look. We can view one of these. This is the seamless template, so as you can see, this is sort of what it would look like. Your opt-in page at the top, you got your products, and then the deluxe template is this one. Not a lot different, but you can choose from those. And then across the top, you've got a bunch of settings. We'll get into that in a bit. And then same with going down here, we've got the domain setting, where you can link in your own domain if you want. And then SEO settings, and then there's their cookie setting. That's, of course, you have to have that up here so that people will choose whether or not they agree with your cookie settings or your cookie policy. And then tracking, that's in here. And then the shop images setting, so your logo, things like that, your favicon. And then your home banner, be a picture at the top, and then the basic settings. And a few more options in there, whether or not show social share icons, things like that. And that's basically it to those settings. Now let's go over here to the next one is content settings. And there's a little bit more here too, like your home. You know, like this is basically on your menu, the about, the contact, download, plans, terms and conditions. This would be in your footer, privacy policy and disclaimer. And so that's good. That's fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you got your banner settings. That would be a banner if you want. And then an email newsletter setting. You can have that at the top or the bottom. You just save it and it updates it. And then contact us page settings if you want to have a different image in there. Same with the about page settings. And then if you want to have any of those social share things on there, you can. And then the quick setup to compliance page. So that's good. They have a little bit of the legal stuff in here, but we'll get into it more later about things like taxes and stuff, which they don't. Here, this is actually kind of nice. You can actually translate the site into any language you want, but you have to add the language, and then you can choose once you've added it. So that's it for those settings. And now here's the payment settings, and you would have to integrate with PayPal, Stripe, or Skrill. And that's all there is to the payment settings. You can track physical product orders, but again, there's no type of taxes or anything like that, and we'll get into that later too. And let's get into email settings next, because supposedly there is an email autoresponder built into this. You can connect with Aweber, GetResponse, or MailChimp, so technically they don't really have an autoresponder built in. You have to connect to one of these in order to have an autoresponder. So that's fine, that's fair enough. And then next is the revenue settings. Go in there quickly. And here is the currency symbol, and you can have coupons. And then the shop type, and there's only the single. And now next is your user details. And that's, of course, if maybe you had a virtual assistant or something like that helping you, you could add a user. Good enough. Now here is the adding products. Now in the training, which we'll get into later on the dashboard, they do talk about that you can add in a bunch of different products. Now I've been playing with this for a while and I cannot figure out how to add any more products. Now this is being launched tomorrow, February 23rd, and I don't know if it's just not ready or they're not going to have that, because on the training, like I said, they have it so that you can add like ebooks and things like that, but there's not here. You can add your own product or an affiliate product, and it doesn't matter what you pick on or what you pick, there's still nothing inside here. You can choose, but there's nothing when you go to choose. You go to manage category, and this is where you would actually make up a category, create one. So there's no products here. So let's go back, and same thing. You know, you can choose an audio, a video, PSD, photo, other. So we choose some of these, but there's nothing inside. You go to choose, there's nothing there. Same thing. So you can put in a product if you have one, but supposedly in the training and on the sales page, they say that there's a whole bunch of products included, and I cannot find it. So that's sort of weird. But like I say, maybe they will be adding that here in the few hours before the launch. I hope that's possible. Yeah, there is no products as of right now. I'll show you some other ones here a little bit. They're more like a blog post, and that's in Manage Products. Let's take a look at that. And these are them. These are basically what they call products. So let's take a look. So this one's called e-learning. Let's take a look at that, view it, and this is it. So basically, if you have an online course or you want to start one, this is for you. And so let's take a look at the live preview. So basically then it would be some tutorials where people would input their name to access it, and then you could have a tutorial. So there is some products on here, but not like they said. But anyway, so there are a few, and it doesn't look too bad, but I'll show you later how some alternatives can do this just as well, if not better. Anyways, now let's go back to ProfitSite, and the rest is the same thing. There's a bunch of different ones, but they're all more like a template for a blog or a website, which they do claim that you can sell these too and make some money off of that if you want to. So that's fair, but again, half the products that they say that you're getting are just not here. So let's go back to the dashboard, and so that's my shops. Basically, there was nothing left in there, and then here you can delete it or make it inactive or active. And next, let's go to the next one onto dashboard, which is account. And here is just where you would put in your information for that. Fair enough. And then the media library. They do have a few in here. And a lot of these you'll be able to get for free off of Google or any Pixabay anyways for free. So nothing special there. They really don't have that many anyways. You can add an image or upload So back to the dashboard is now this ProfitSite training. So here is the training, like I referred to earlier, and they do have a little bit, but really not much. To be honest, this is actually quite confusing. Now, in the training, like I said, they talk about some of the products that you can add, when you can create your first shop, but those products are not here, so that's odd. A lot of this training really is not in depth. There's 5 videos. What type of store do you want? A little bit more about how you create your first shop, but that's only 4.5 minutes. That's nothing. And then your in-depth settings. So this is in-depth training. Now let's see how long that is. Well, that's 7 minutes and 40 seconds. So it's just a brief overview like I'm giving you now. They really do not have anything in depth. And then my site's another training one. This one's only 1:15. And then number 5, user experience. This one here, let's try it. It's 1:57. Wow. So huge amount of training. Not really, unfortunately. And so there is no in-depth training. It just barely covers the basics. Let's go back to the dashboard. And then there's this help and frequently asked questions. And there is a slight bit more here. First I thought, oh, maybe they're going to have quite a bit more information. But then you click on here. What's the difference between own and affiliate shop? And you got 1 sentence. Maybe 2 sentences to tell you about that. Say with this, how to create affiliate store. Maybe a paragraph. But really, there's not much there. And the grammar is all weird, like how to create affiliate store. And then the next one, how to do CEO for the shop. They have a little bit there. They don't tell you anything about SEO optimization, how to do any of that. Same with these ones. There really is very little on here. So let's go back to the dashboard. And that's it. The rest, or the last one, is logout. Now let's get into the things that I do not like about ProfitSite. Now, I did a review on Profit Enigma, and I'll have that video on screen and in the description so you can take a look at it. The sales page to Profit Enigma, now it was by the same vendors, is very, very similar. And now let's, first of all, just go back to ProfitSite, the software that I'm reviewing right now. Remember those numbers that I showed you about the sales dashboard? So these are the numbers or the money amounts that they say that they're getting from ProfitSite. So that's what it says here. We're already using it in our own business to great success. That's how much money they made. So let's go to that other review of Profit Enigma. And notice this. See, this is Profit Enigma. I'll go up to the top to show you. So Profit Enigma, almost identical, slightly different. This one made some other products and stuff like ebooks and stuff that you could make. But now let's take a look at those same so-called profit numbers. So the same thing. This is what they claim they made with Profit Enigma. So $621.50 was what they made today. Let's go back to ProfitSite. Well, look at that. $621.50. And these other numbers are identical to Profit Enigma. What are the chances of that? What a coincidence. Well, of course not. They just made those numbers up. They can't even change the numbers from sales page to sales page. So obviously very misleading. That right there is a huge warning bell for this type of software. Isn't that true? If they're going to make up these so-called earnings, how much of the rest of the sales page is made up? Well, probably quite a bit of it. Isn't that true? It's very misleading. So we can't trust any of the things that they say about this software. And now, here's another thing that you could get into trouble with this. Now, I used to have a Shopify store, and we did some drop shipping, and we tried that. Now, with Shopify, they have all the taxes and things like that built into it. Remember, in ProfitSite, they don't have anything like that. You're not charging taxes. You're just selling these things, and you're not charging taxes. So that's crazy. You could get into trouble with that. And now another thing that I don't like is how secure is the site. When you're getting these payment settings from people, lots of times they'll go through PayPal, Stripe, and Skrill, but it could work out that you get some of their credit card information or even just their private information like their name, their address. Is ProfitSite going to keep that secure for you? Who knows, right? That's an important point, too, because you could be liable if people's information was, say, somehow lost or was hacked and people found out your customers' information, so that you could get into trouble with that. So that's a real caution. And now let's go back to the sales page for one more thing, too, that I don't like. Now, they keep talking about this rock-solid cloud hosting. And notice down here, they claim that you're going to get faster loading websites with 100% uptime. So that's amazing. So let's just do a little bit of research on hosting, because obviously this is just a one-time fee for this. So it's going to be free or cheap hosting at the best. It's not going to be good hosting. So let's look into this a little bit, and let's go to this website. It's called ViewStable, but they're talking about free versus paid hosting. So what are the advantages and the pros and cons and so forth? Now they talk about this free or cheap web hosting, and there is cost to having a hosting company. And that's what they talk about here. They say how the companies have to pay for the hardware, like a server and so forth. And the server needs to be maintained. So they have to hire an engineer to maintain it. And then third, the company will have to invest a lot of money so that they can continue the services without any interruption. And then let's look a little bit further down here too. Now, the cons of free hosting. So the biggest hit in free paid hosting comes in ranking the site on Google search engine and partners. Now back at ProfitSite, they claim with all that SEO optimization that they've included, you're going to rank high, but you're not. You will not rank high. And then notice too some other cons of free hosting. No customer support team. A few of them did, but you don't know if the support's going to work for you. And then notice this, one of our free host accounts got terminated for no reason. We never recovered those accounts due to no response from the company. So that's a real threat to your ProfitSite. Let's say you've got some websites for yourself, and it says you can make them for others. So let's say you've made them for others, and all of a sudden your hosting account gets terminated for no reason. Obviously, you're going to be unhappy for yourself, but if you've sold those websites, those people are not going to be happy with you. So that's a real caution. And then another con of free hosting is slow site loading speed. So there's a lot of cons to that. Now let's just take a quick look at this one too. This website, who is hosting this? Now, remember what ProfitSite, they claim that you're going to get 100% uptime. Basically, uptime is how accessible that website is, or that hosting will make sure your website is always accessible to people, or it's always up, you could say. That's the uptime. And now it's interesting that a lot of these, even like big companies, like HostGator, there's SiteGround, there's some really big ones, and as you can see, they've got them mentioned here. Now, a lot of these, they don't say that they have 100% uptime. It says here in this article that the most common level of guaranteed uptime is 99%. Remember back at ProfitSite, they claimed that 100% uptime. So obviously that's going to be misleading. If they're making up those numbers of profit, like I said, we know that they are. These numbers here are absolutely made up. So that 100% uptime will be made up as well. There's no way. They have cheap and free hosting, so it's not going to be 100% uptime. You're not going to have a faster loading website than others. It's just not going to happen. Now, I'll try and keep this brief, but I just want to show you one more piece of proof for this. Now, I made another review too about one of their products called Profit Meat. I reviewed it, and then one of the comments of a gentleman, notice this, he said, "Super glad I caught your review." Notice he said how he started having issues with Profit Host. Now, this Profit Host was by the same vendors, and it came out only about a month or so before this Profit Meat. And so this poor guy's already having problems with his software from Profit Host, about a month later. Again, that's another nail in the coffin, you could say, for this ProfitSite. How long will they support this? We have no way of knowing. They could just pull the plug, and then you are out of your websites. And all those that you supposedly could sell to others, well then, those are all gone as well. So those are the things that I don't like about ProfitSite. Let's just go into some alternatives for ProfitSite. And if you have WordPress, this Elementor is a plugin for WordPress, and this is an excellent website builder. And let's take a look at the pricing, and it's free. So you can use this, and it works way better than that ProfitSite. And for $50 a year, you'll get one site, but notice this, you'll get the WooCommerce Builder built right into this. And this WooCommerce Builder allows you to do very similar stuff to ProfitSite. You can sell stuff, sell products, and you get a few more templates, and the excellent support will be unmatched. You'll get way better support. You'll get updates for the next year. So this is something that'll be around for a long time. With ProfitSite, you just cannot guarantee how long they're going to be around and how long you can access that. So let's go to one more alternative. It's something called Gumroad.com. Here is where you can sell digital products, and let's take a look at the pricing, and it's no monthly fee. So it's not free. There will be some charges for when you actually sell. This is an excellent option to get started with trying to sell some digital products, because it's really not as easy as ProfitSite makes it sound. Just because you put up a site or multiple sites doesn't mean you're going to start getting this traffic. And that's another thing that I don't like. They call this multiple traffic streams built in. But there is no multiple traffic streams. There's nothing there. You can post all these done-for-you sites that they have, and nothing will happen. So next, let's go over the upsells or the upgrades. And so for the front end of ProfitSite, it'll be $17. And then there'll actually be a downsell for $15. That'll come up in a pop-up. If you try and exit, you can get it for a little bit cheaper. And then the next upgrade, or number 1, is the Pro. That's $36.93. There's actually a downsell for the Pro as well, $26.93. And then the next upsell is Done For You, $36.93. And then the downsell of that, $26.93. And then the reseller, $197. So you can resell this if you want, but there's actually quite a big downsell for that for $97. And then there's their IMX, which is $97. And then the downsell for $67. So again, I don't recommend these upsells. If they're going to use misleading sales tactics for the front end on that sales page, these are no different for the upgrades. They won't work, and they're not going to bring you traffic for this type of software. So next, let's go over the pros and the cons. So for the pros, there really is only one. I'm not happy with this software, and they're misleading claims. Basically, they're not telling you the truth about this. So the only pro that I could find was that they claim there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. But of course, that's only if they honor it, and they really may not even honor that. And now for the cons, that sales page was very misleading. Those were absolutely made up earnings. When I compared the sales pages to another one, the exact same figures. So that's obviously very misleading. And this isn't for beginners. There is no traffic. There's no multiple traffic streams. It's not going to happen. And that hosting, they say that this hosting is rock solid, is incredible, but I don't agree with that. That too is very misleading. There's a very good chance, just like I showed that comment from Profit Host, another product from these vendors, how that was actually starting to have problems with it. And so this hosting will not be around for long. They will just pull the plug, and it's not going to be supported, and you won't be able to access it anymore. And then the training, that's another con. It was very poor. It was not in depth at all. So in summary, I don't recommend this. I'd miss this one for you. It could get you into trouble. I only give it 1 out of 10 stars. So that's it for my review about ProfitSite. I hope it brought you some value. And my name is Rick Hoople with Your Nomadic Life. And this review is just my own opinion. Now, in the upcoming weeks, I'm going to make a video more in depth on how you want to stay away from this free or cheap hosting. And I'll give you more reasons to really avoid software like this, where they talk about this hosting that is so great, but really it's not. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that. And if you haven't been to this channel before, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to stop wasting your money, because you keep thinking, if I just buy this software, then everything will work out. It's going to be the magic bullet to start making money online. I know I used to think that, but this software just doesn't do it. Stop buying shiny objects and check out that link in the description below. And there you'll find a step-by-step process that will get you on your way to making money online. So thanks for watching, and take care.